Hi, welcome back to Guardian Angel Resin Creations. I'm just going to bring you down just a tiny little bit there. You can see what I'm doing. Today I'm going to make some little dice and a little dice holder for my son, but I'm actually going to put some flowers in it. Now, I bought these flowers on Amazon and they cost me $11. And I thought I was getting a lot more and a lot bigger flowers. So be careful when you're buying them, because that's a lot of money for, I think, 100 flowers that are tiny, tiny, tiny. So just be aware when you get stuff like this. It's very expensive. And it's deceiving when you see it on the little photos. So I'm going to try and choose. Oops, I've just got to the side my resin mixing, and my cup just moved. So I'm just going to just pour a couple out here on my bench. Hopefully you can see. I will just move you a smidge. I'm going to just choose a few different colors, try not to break any. So I'm just going to, I'll just move this mold over and I'll center this mold properly so you can see. So that is, my resin has just finished mixing, but I will just scrape down the edges with my mixer. And I might just go again, although it looks pretty good. Sorry if you are seeing my arm. I might just give that a bit more of a mix. So with this mixer, I can actually set a timer and it will just mix it for me. So I could just see something black in there, so I'm just going to just make sure there's nothing in there, because I have been playing with these molds before. I normally just leave them to the side and I just chuck in my leftovers, so you get some pretty cool dice when you do that. So I'm just going to try and just drop them in there and turn that back over again. It up against the wall, but they're going to float anyway, so I don't think it's really going to matter how I put it in there. There's just something inside my mold on that side as well. Maybe I should have given them a bit of a wipe out. There we go, that's got it. There we go. Alrighty, right, I'm going to green one in there, and then a pinky. It's sort of just attached itself to the wall there. Nice big white one. I'm just going to just put them in there willy-nilly and just see what they do, really. And a couple of pinkies in there. There we go. Just chuck them in. They'll probably just all float, but we'll see. I think if you did too many of these, they would work out to be quite an expensive way of putting something into these molds, because, you know, if you use 100 flowers, that adds $11 onto the price of these if you're going to sell them. Chuck them in there. This is just a practice run. Right, maybe a different colour. Get a green one in there, shall we? And then I'm just going to just put them in there and just see what they do. Nice big pink one. Get in there. I think I'll wait until my resin is quite thick before I pour it in, I think. Maybe a couple more flowers in each of them. Make sure I've got all the different colours in there. These will work out to be quite expensive ones. There we go. Actually, if I just scoop them, don't put the stick in there. A couple more in that, because some of these are quite deep as well. Oopsie, that flicked out. That can go in there. There we go. A couple more colours into that one. Oh, goodness me. There we go, stick that in there, bit more in there. Yep, how about I just do that? Might be a little bit easier. There we are. Pick it up. There we go. Oh goodness. Well, that's my 4 minutes up, so sorry about the length of this video then. Not going to be good. Alright, so I'm just going to just let that sit. I'm going to let it sit for probably about 20 minutes to thicken up, just so that the flowers don't float too much. I did have intentions of using these flowers into like one of my longer molds that I've got organised here, but they're just not big enough. Unless I want to use, you know, hundreds of dollars worth of flowers in them, they're just not going to work. Let's just pour that over there like that. Just make sure they're in and around. Turn him over. There we are. Alright, I'm going to move these around a bit. Here we go. Now I've made up 100 of A and 100 of B, 95 of B, and I'm using the Estoyo. Move some of those green ones out of the way. Too many green in one spot. Orange over there. There we are. There we go. Alright. I might as well just really... Oh. No. I'm just going to use them all. Pour them on there. Drop them on. If I'm going to do it, you may as well do it. So, alright. I'll wait for my resin to set up, and then I'll be back in a second. Okay, I've had this sitting for probably maybe 20 minutes while I cleaned up my my little mixer and stuff like that. It's like amazingly clear. Couple of micro bubbles in there, but even if I was to put it in my little debubbler, it doesn't get those tiny little ones out. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a torch, and I'm actually going to spray my mold. Actually, I'll get my smaller spray because I want to spray the flowers as well. I'll get in the little holes in there. Just spray it in the holes. Actually spray it on the flowers. I know that seems like a little bit too much, but hopefully it is not. I'm just going to wipe that off the mold. There we go. And just move that out of the way. Hopefully you can't see my head, and I'm just going to very carefully pour that in there. Very gently. Now I'm not going to know whether these are going to float or anything like that until I actually unmold. Come up as far as I can with it, because you do sit the lid on. Bring it right up. You can see a bubble coming up with that. You can see some big bubbles coming up. Hopefully, oopsie, that isopropyl is going to help get rid of those bubbles. Just gently pouring it in there. It's probably a little bit too gentle. There we go. These are actually deeper than you think they are. Some of these do take a fair amount of resin. Okay, that's nearly up there. Up we go. Sorry about the noise then. I think it's a neighbour putting something in the bin. Okay. Up we go. Nice big bubble coming out of that. There we go. Put the centre one in. Centre one doesn't take very much. Over those flowers. Dome in. Go. I don't care if I get over pour, because I need to have that over pour so that we can put the lid on. Bring him up. Keep going, there we go. That's got it. Bring that one up a little bit more. Oh, probably a bit too much. There we go, that one. That over the flower. Sorry, I'm concentrating a little bit, so I'm not talking that much. See these bubbles coming out. I might just give that a little bit more of a spray, because it has been a bit since I sprayed it. Bubbles are definitely coming up, so I will wait a little bit till I sit this lid on, just to try and disperse some of these bubbles out of it. Bring it up. A little bit more. Drip that in there. Swap my cup. Now hopefully I have enough to do these two. I'm just going to pour it in on the top of that one. Now I could have put a bit of gold or silver in there with them, but I just wanted to see how they go plain. Just with the flowers in it. Might have to make up a little bit more resin. Didn't think it would take quite as much as it is taking. Get those flowers in there. Yep, I'm going to make up a little bit more resin. Probably another, oh, that was 200 in there, so I'll probably make up another 70 or something to put in there, and then I will come back. Okay, so I've made up some more resin. So I'm just going to pull this across here. I've actually taken some out of there because I've decided to put like a top coat thing on there. So I'm just going to just gently pour in this new lot of resin over this side. Just get it over my flowers. This hasn't been sitting for as long, so it's still got some bubbles in it, and I didn't spray. So I'm just going to spray now. just to disperse some of those bubbles in there. There we go. Just going to pour that in there. And I'm thinking I might I'll pick a colour out of one of the flowers and put that colour in there. So I'm just going to just make sure that these little domes are covered and that I've got sort of an even cover on them. There we go. It's not quite domed, that one. Just want to make sure that they are all covered everywhere. Okay, I'm just going to scrape that off. Give it a tiny bit of a torch. Don't want to burn the flowers. Need to shake my lighter. There we go. There's some micro bubbles in there, but hopefully they'll come out. I'll give them a little bit of a bang. I will sit some of these flowers down in there. The thicker it gets, the easier it'll be to put these flowers down. So spray my bench. Just going to spray to try and get rid of the bubbles out of this one. I've got just a couple of flowers sitting up in there. It's in that one. Try and get them to go down a little bit. That one's not quite domed enough, so I will stick just a tiny bit more resin into that one, just to get them to dome. I need it to sort of overflow. There's a couple of flowers here that need to be pressed down. There we go, press them in there. Couple of little bubbles in there. But you know what, I think it actually will add to the character of it. There we are. Hopefully that's okay. I will spray my lid. Just got resin on my finger, so I'll just get that off. Spray my lid. Just got some pink sitting there for something else. Just give it a spray. Get it all on the numbers, put it in there, get where it's meant to be. Please excuse my head if it is in there. Pop the little bits into where they need to go. And I'm just going to gently push that across. Any excess resin will pop out. Try and make sure there's no bubbles in it at all. There we go. I can't see any bubbles. Well, I might have done that pretty good. Last few I've had bubbles in, so we'll see. I will clean up all of that mess that is around the edges of it, and I will keep popping bubbles in this. Find something to do with my leftover resin, which is not going to be that hard. And I will come back when I'm ready to do the next lot. Okie dokie, hopefully I've got you in focus here, because I've had to bring you in quite tight so that you can't see all the rest of my stuff that I'm doing. So I have I've made up 25 of A and 22 of B, and I'm using the Toyo. I'm using Bamboo Green number 135. I can't pronounce the name, so I just say it's from CT, from Amazon. And I've also put a little bit of Pearl Pigment from Solid Solutions in there. And I've been mixing that for 2 or 3 minutes, or actually 3 or 4 minutes now. It's quite a pretty colour that I've decided to back this with. Like, it's just stunning. So hopefully I haven't got too many bubbles in there. Getting attacked by mosquitoes and flies and all sorts today. Right, so I'm just going to pour that in. There we go. And I don't want to leave that sit there because too long, because it'll get that mark, because like it's not set up properly yet. So I don't want to mark, so I'm just going to pour that on quickly. Go, get that around there. All the way around. I will tidy up my edges. I just don't want it to leave the mark in the resin. Like you can put your fingernail in it and it makes a little mark. So it's not totally set. So alright, so I'm just going to quickly pour this on as well. Just get it on there properly first and then fiddle around with it in a second. Okay, get a bit more on there. Move it all around. All into the edges. Over there. Okay. There we go. And pour a bit more in. I might not have made up enough, because I only want to back it with a light coat of this. A bit more in this bit. Definitely not going to be domed. Maybe I should have made up a tiny bit more. But it's only the back of it, so it'll be just fine. And if I've got any little edgy bits, I will clean it up with my little cleanup tool. Just make sure that's all the way to the edges. There we go. Beautiful. That is going to be stunning. Just wanted to bring out like one of the colours in the flowers. And it's sort of a blue-green, which is gorgeous. And there we go. Done. Nice and fast. So that'll all be set up ready to go in the morning. Done. Beautiful. Alrighty, I'll see you in the morning. Alrighty, it's the next day. So I am going to demold. Hopefully you can see you. So it's the afternoon, so these have been setting up since like for about 24 hours because had a hair appointment and everything this morning, so I've left them sit. So I'm just going to pull this off. So it should be able to pull off that excess resin. I think you can see. So it'll just come off just like that. If you just gently pull it, that excess will just lift off there. That's a little bit stuck for some reason. Don't know why, because it's not torched, so pull that off. Pull that little bit out of there. That out. Now I might not have any cleanup this time, which will be fantastic. Let's get that one out. This one doesn't want to come out. There we go. I'm going to have a little bit of cleanup on this one. If I'm careful, I'll get my fingernails around it. There won't actually be that much cleanup on it. Beautiful. Look at that. Let's get that off. There we go. So that will all just pull off. Just like that. Easy, because it's just a very thin film on it. Easy to pull off. Awesome. Perfect. That's all nice and clean again. There we go. Put that that in the bin. And got a little bit of overflow in there, but that's alright. I expected that. Just take those bits out. And then I'm just going to pop them out. Hopefully they have turned out how I wanted them to. They come out pretty easy. And pop that one out. And little middle one. Put all that back in there. There we go. And oh, they are so cool. They are very cool, and hopefully you can see they are crystal clear. Look at that. And there's no cleanup. Loving it. Wow, it's a tiny little bit on that one. But I'll just get that with my fingernail. Look at that. Easy. Just scrapes off because it's just that fine little bit. So I think that's the way to go with the alcohol, spraying the alcohol on it. There we are. Oh, I love them. That's got a couple of air bubbles on that side. But look at the rest of it. Hopefully you can see these and they're not blurry. They're just amazing. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, I'm definitely doing these again. I just love the flowers in them. And I definitely think it is worth the extra money to do the flowers. This one, the flowers floated a little bit, but I just love them. So alrighty, so let's get to this. So we're going to move that. And hopefully I'm centered, and we are, had a little bit of overflow there. Just pop that off. I will get to that with the, I might not need to get to that. There's a couple of little bubbles on the edges, so I'll pull them off again. There we go, they just come off easy. So alrighty, pop that out. Rid of those bubbles. And pop these little bits out. And they do just pop out of it. Put you down a little bit. It's coming out quite easy. Get that center one out. Beautiful. Now pop him back in. This one. Pop them. There we are. All done. Beautiful. Set that to the side. Alrighty. Let's turn these over. I will get to them later with the clippers, and when it's sat for a few hours, I will get my little tool and go around the edges, because the edges are a little bit sharp, and I'll work out which is the bottom, and I'll put little sticky dots on them. So alright, let it go. Oh, I love them. How cool is that? Some of the little flowers are down there. I have one little air bubble, but that's inside. A couple of little air bubbles, but that doesn't matter. Like 2 air bubbles, that's it in that one. How pretty is that? And I love how it's see-through at the back. That's so cool. Pretty pretty. Look at that. It looks like they're sitting on the base of it. Very, very cool. Alright, see. Now these are meant to, it's meant to sit inside each other. I don't know what these are for. Not exactly sure. Oh, it tells you exactly, I think, which way to put it. It's got 3, that's got 3. So look at that. Look. It all sits together. I will fix that bit up there. Must have been like a little air bubble or something. But wow. I think it needs to go on a little hinge. Maybe I might be able to make a little leather strap or something for it so that it hinges on and off. There we go. And not sure what these little holes are for. Let me know what you think the holes are for. Alright, so stick them in there and see whether it closes. Don't know about this square one. Might sit in the center better. Little triangle. Some go in there better than others. Fingernails are getting in the way. I think that felt set better in the middle. It does, it's better in the middle. Alrighty, see how we go with these, see if it'll shut. Look at that, look. It actually shuts. That is very cool. Wow, wow, wow. Love it, love it, love it. Well, I will take some photos of these. Like, I'll clean it all up, take some pickies. Thank you so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to all of my lovely subscribers. I really appreciate you watching and subscribing, and thank you so much. And I will catch you next time, and be safe.